Welcome, fam. Thank you all for joining. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. It's Yah-Tay, the Barber Stylist. I am the host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. This is episode number 28. Can you believe it? Episode number 28. I'm streaming on TikTok via their platform. Hopefully, you all can see me. I'm also streaming from Instagram as well as they finally got it up, y'all. Instagram, Facebook, as well as the YouTube channel, Real Roots with the Z TV. Once again, I am Yah-Tay Keaton, your host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. This is episode number 28. It is part 3 of a 3-part series that I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. And if you have not seen part 1, episode 26, part 2, episode 27, I do encourage you all to view those. So let me recap for those 2 episodes and then get you into tonight's episode here on Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I want to welcome our live viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome our replay viewers, those of you who are taking time out of your day to replay this broadcast. Once again, I am your host, Yah-Tay, Navy veteran, certified life coach, life purpose and career coach, as well as barber stylist. I've spent over 20 years working with children from all abilities in schools to group homes in our communities, and now in the salon and barbershop. So I'm bringing all of that, wealth of information, experience, and knowledge to my specialty now as a barber stylist, but I share it with my clients and community. This episode is very, very, very close to my heart. I think is one of the most important conversations that we can have in the beauty and barber industry as it relates to servicing special needs and autistic children. I bring that up because, like I mentioned, I've worked with children. I still keep counting, but my last position as a direct care employee with Fort Jackson, their CYS program, I worked in the computer lab and I serviced middle schoolers. But before that position, I was at the teen center and worked with our young teens. And before that, I can go on and on and on. But nonetheless, we're talking tonight about servicing special needs and autistic children. This is episode 28, Crown Care for Every Child. Once again, Crown Care for Every Child, serving special needs and autistic children. Before I jump into the subject and the topic for tonight, I want to go back over the 2 episodes that we've done and kind of sum up this particular topic and give you some topics, some pointers that I'll be sharing. I always try to do 3 to 5. Y'all know I have my handy dandy notes because I like to be intentional about the information that I put out. I will be resharing some things that I shared in the previous episode. I got my props. I don't know that I have a whole lot of pictures, but I got props tonight that I want to share. If you're on TikTok, hopefully you can see this. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you are on TikTok or any other platforms, please do hit that follow button. Do share this podcast. Share your comments as well. Any questions or comments you have, please do share them. So episode 26 was entitled First Cuts and Big Feelings, Serving Children with Care. We did that. That was part 1. Part 2 was episode 27, Beyond the Chair, the Emotional Intelligence of Grooming Children, or grooming kids, grooming children. That was episode number 2. Part 2, episode number 27. And like I said, this is a 3-part series. So tonight is episode 28. It's Crown Care for Every Child, serving special needs, serving special needs and autistic clients. It was under the series entitled Serving Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. You could say braiding with care, just servicing them with care. So, like I said, this episode is near and dear to my heart. I have individuals in my family that are considered special needs and or autistic. Um, some are young, some are older. Yeah, so I've also taught in the school system, or shall I say, subbed in the school system, 2 states, 3 different counties for 6 years. And I actually got trained as a paraprofessional in Jacksonville, Duval County, when I was servicing or subbing in the school systems. That was middle, elementary, middle, and high school. So I did that, like I said, for 6 years, 2 states, 3 different counties. But nonetheless, like I mentioned before, this is a very, very important conversation for the grooming industry. I'm going to talk about serving children with autism and special needs with dignity, patience, and the preparation they deserve for us caregivers. And setting up a sensory safe environment for them, pre-service meet and greet. Y'all know I've always talked about meeting up with, especially my first-time clients, whether their children have special needs or autistic. If I am seeing them for the very first time, especially if they're school age, the younger children, I encourage the parent to come see me, bring them by so that we can have a little meet and greet. They can see the environment, get a feel for what it's like, as to make them comfortable before their actual service. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the beauty shops and barber salons that can be a little overstimulating to them. But nonetheless, we want to be inclusive and intentional when we provide services for them. So whether you're a professional or a parent, I'm going to be sharing what works for sensory aware setups to real communication strategies that build trust. And the topics of discussion tonight that we'll cover is why pre-visits matter. Why pre-visits matter, creating a sensory sensitive grooming space. I know a few individuals out there, I'm actually following a couple of them, that have individual suites, or their area is set up to be able to service children with special needs, as well as autism, any sensory concern from that standpoint. The reason being is lighting, sound, all of those senses matter when it comes down to working with them. But the biggest thing for me is being patient. You may not always be able to service them sitting in the barber chair, on what I call the stool. I call it booster seat because I tease my children. You don't need the booster seat, do you? But anyway, we want to be intentional and inclusive when it comes down to servicing those children. There are individuals out there who exclusively service special need and autistic children. I do service them, although I service a variety of individuals. Y'all know my youngest, Savannah, is 2. She 3, 2, 3. And my eldest client is 83, Miss D, who just turned 83 April 10th. But anywho, so we got topic number 1, why pre-visits matter. Topic number 2, creating a sensory sensitive grooming space, verbal and visual communication strategies, partnering with parents for smoother service. when you're dealing with a child, partnering with parents is just, it should be inclusive, period, regardless. But especially when they're little children, special needs, or autistic, it, get parents involved. We want to partner with them because they can be invaluable assets when it comes down to servicing children with special needs as well as autistic children. Also, patience, it is your most powerful tool, but we want to, you know, it just is, because sometimes you might be cutting in the chair, sometimes you might be cutting on the floor, sometimes you might be cutting in the car, sometimes you might be cutting them standing up, playing with toys. You just got to get in there. So the last one is client stories and testimonies from parents. I'll share some things with you as it relates to that. And then I just want to say, every child deserves to be feel, seen, safe, and celebrated in our chairs, whether you're in the barbershop or the salon. Every child, no matter what I call my special needs children, I say they have special abilities, because oftentimes those children are geniuses in other areas, you know. But nonetheless, they all deserve to feel seen, safe, and celebrated in our chairs. So to start out with, the first point, why pre-visit meeting matters. Before the first cut, we should meet. I encourage, I should start making it a standard, but I do encourage the parent to come meet me for autistic and special needs children. That pre-visit can build comfort and trust. That's one of the biggest reasons. It builds comfort and trust. Like I say, they get to see the environment, view the environment. They get to see what's going on. Touch, feel, walk around, you know, those types things in the environment. So hold up, y'all. Give me a quick second. I want to make sure that I am acknowledging those who are in. Hey, WK, thank you for tuning in. She says, showing, hey, thank you for joining. She also says, that's right, getting celebrated, being seen makes so much sense, builds up their confidence and self-esteem. It really does. It really does. So the first topic, I talked about the first cut, you know, for autistic and special needs children. The pre-visit can build trust and comfort with them. I do, like I say, if the parents are able to, I offer that meet and greet for that reason, because I want the child to be comfortable. I want them to, I want to build trust with them, especially if I'm meeting them for the first time, you know. So one of my examples that I want to share with you, so just like when kids, I'm gonna use an example of a classroom. So when kids go to pre-K, or they go to middle school, or even high school, you know how they have orientation. They might come in for an hour or so, and they get to view the classroom, meet the teacher, you know, see what the classroom looks like. And for middle schoolers, they kind of get to walk around the school. The parents get to travel through the hallways and kind of get a feel for what their day is like. And also in high school, I think they still do it. I know we did it when I was coming up, but they may or may not do it now at the high schools. But it's like giving them a classroom tour, or giving them a barbershop or a salon tour. So without the tour for the kids, like I say, it may elevate the anxiousness. It just may, it may not, you know, call for a positive experience for them, especially if they're going into the environment for the first time. So meet and greets, coming in like a classroom tour of such in the salon or barbershop, I think is very important to let them know what their surroundings is. so they can see the environment beforehand. Another thing, meeting first lets the child get familiar not only with my voice, my face, and the feel of the space, before introducing the clippers and the shears. Sometimes working with autistic children, you might not be able to use the clippers. You may end up having to use the shears. I've done that before. And let me tell you, they know. They know. So I've had to do that where introducing them to getting their haircut, I've had to utilize the shears over the clippers. So that's another reason. And then another example is it's like a practice run. It build trust before game day, before clipper day, before service day. So it gives them an opportunity to do a practice run, sit in the chair, spin the chair around, all of those things. I have them help me go get the booster seat if they're really short. Just things along those lines. I get my kids involved. I really do. So WeK says here, that's smart. Orientating is different, is definitely the way to go for them to feel comfortable with the setting. It is. It really is, especially like I said, if it's their first time. So it's very important for me to do that. So I always say connection before clippers, especially for newer, diverse children. The first hello is everything. So like I say, I'm introducing them to my voice, my face, the feel of the space, and introducing them to the clippers or shears, or clippers and shears. Because some of my clients, especially my straight hair clients, they often get clippers on the sides and back, and they get shear on top, shear work on top. Whereas, my textured hair clients, they get a sponge on top, they may get a style on top, and of course they get the clippers on the side, and I may use some texture shears. It just all depends on what the service require. I want to pause for the calls and say thank you to those of you who are tuning in live. Thank you, WeK. Let me see who else we got over here that's on. I see somebody else. I don't see your name, but please don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my mind. I'm unable to see it. My TikTok fam, thank you so very much. I see quite a few. I see Melissa here, a Waking Crew. We got a couple more individuals on. Thank you all for joining. Do share this broadcast. I appreciate it. So back to topic part one, I talked about pre-visits or viewing the space matters a lot. The second part of this, or topic for this particular subject of care, Crown Care for Every Child, serving special needs and autistic clients, is creating a sensory sensitive grooming space. So with that, like flashing lights, very loud clippers, no thank you. It causes a little more anxiousness, anxiety for them. So adjusting the light, adjusting lighting if possible. If you're in a barber space where you're in a commission space, or in a salon where you're booth renting, you may not have as much control over the lighting as you would if you were in your own salon or barbershop or suite, where it's just you and you can manipulate the site, the sound, the lighting, and all of those things. But we want to use quieter tools, and also be mindful of every sound, because it can startle them. It can scare them in some instances. And many of them who have those sensory issues, any little thing can, potentially set them off. So sensory safe is not an option. it's essential when you're servicing them. So if bright lights or buzzing sounds are too much, um, I'll try to use softer lights or quieter tools. I'm working on that. Most of my tools, let me get my bag here. They are not too loud, but they can be. So like I always talk about my Slimline Pro, but there's some more tools out there that are not as loud. These are my detachables, my Andes, and I do have the ability to, pipe it, pipe it down a little bit. So it may not run as fast, but it still get the job done. Okay. And then I have my other trimmers. They can be pretty loud, but I'm working to see what else is out there for me with that. So lights, that's important, dimming the lights, but enough so you can see. But bright lights can be a challenge for them. Like I said, quieter tools. I had some headphones. I actually do have a pair that they're blue, but some children wear headphones to block out noise. It's also about comfort. So whatever it is to ensure that they're comfortable. Some kids might not like being touched. You know, that's another thing. So I'm always explaining to them what I'm doing. I talked about this previously, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. And I go slowly with them so that they're not startled. Take, for instance, I got my little mannequin here, y'all. So I was teaching myself high, medium, low fade, drop fade, all of that stuff. So that's why you see these marks. But when I'm preparing to approach them, I let them know, what's going on, what I'm doing, even sometimes why I'm doing it. But I tell y'all, you remember I was telling y'all a few sessions ago that I always tell my kids, can I borrow your ear? I needed to hear when I have to go around the ear to line them up around the ear. So I always tuck it and tell them I needed to hear. I need to borrow the ear to hear. And also when I'm around the nape, the back of the neck, and I'm lining them up, cleaning up the hair off their neck, I'm always, I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm gonna sit it right there. Well, I'm gonna sit it here. So when I'm, cleaning them up, I'm also soothing them as well. So I'm applying a little bit of pressure, and while I'm cleaning their neck or outlining them, I use the other hand to soothe them as well, or apply a little bit of pressure on the neck area, the nape area. So that's something that I do with them. Another thing is think of it like adjusting the temperature. So whatever it is for them, you want to adjust or make accommodations for that child. You want the environment to feel just right for the child's needs. That brings me to, so my sensory basket here. I have a lot of I got a mixture, but the majority of them are sensory items. So I created a basket that have items in there for them. This is one. Stuff like this here. This lights up, but it's like it's just a lot of little things that they can play with. But most of it is where they can squeeze it and feel it. I actually like the we called it stress ball back in the day. I like to use them, but here are just some of the items, that are used. I told y'all I got the Rubik's Cube in there. Let's see here. I don't know what this called, but it's used for children, special needs, autistic children. Got my little, y'all know I got Nemo here. I got Spider-Man, you know, I got Spidey. Let's see here. What else I got down here? I got the fidget spinner. I got a couple of these, y'all, in different colors. Of course, y'all can't forget about the Simon. But let me see. I have this. So I got the green, the yellow. I think I got a blue one down in here somewhere. Hold on, y'all. I even got this here as well. Got a couple dinos. I'm sure the kids enjoy that. Let me see here. So I got a red one. I got a couple of the modalities down in here. Hold on, y'all. I'm like the little kid. I'm trying to search for the toys that's on the bottom there. Hold on. So I have this here. You can literally just they can bend it. This here, they're separated, but they're magnets. So you can do a lot. I just got a lot of, this is their box. Hulk. I got this. It has like a little marble in it. Yeah, here's the other fidget. Let's see. I think that might do it. I got Black Panther here. Let's see. Yeah. So this is my sensory bin for them. So I have a lot of items in there for them as well. But nonetheless, let's get into point number 2, creating a sensory sensitive grooming space. So we've talked about that, the first one, pre-visit, a sensory sensitive grooming space. We talked about lights, sound. We've talked about kids not being liking to be touched, you know, unexpectedly. They don't like to be touched unexpectedly. You want to let them know what's going on, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, those types of things. So in my chair, sensitivity is respected. I do my best to minimize over stimulation as much as possible, and also maximize comfort, because every child deserves a peaceful grooming space. So with that, we're going to go into communication strategies for nonverbal and sensory sensitive children. This is big, because oftentimes they are nonverbal. Let me check my comments. Let me make sure that I'm communicating with everybody. Hey, Chris, thank you for joining. Chris says, oh, she's communicating. Hold on. How you doing, Chris? And Rocket Red, let's see here. Yes, female barbers matter. They're the only barbers that can listen to my boring stories. Ah, thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate you commenting here. Let's get this moved over. Thank you, Instagram folks. I can't see who's on, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. TikTok fam, y'all the bomb. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all. My Real Roots TV fam, thank you, WK. Thank you, all of you who are tuning in. Once again, this is part 3 of a 3-part episode of the series entitled Serving Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. We did episode 26. I'm just doing a quick recap before I get back into episode 28. Episode 26 was part 1, First Cuts and Big Feelings, Serving Children with Care. Part 2, episode 27 was Beyond the Chair, the emotional intelligence of grooming kids or children. Some people don't like to use the word kids, but I just put that up there. Anywho, so we're on the 3rd part of our 5-part topic, which is nonverbal and visual communication strategies. So with that, some children don't use words. We know that, but they speak through body language, energy, and eye contact. I said in the last episode, I'm always paying attention, and whether they're special needs or autistic, whether they're children, they could be teens or adults. I'm watching body language, facial expressions, all of that, because that communicates to me, especially if they don't want to talk, because you get adults in the chair that don't want to talk for whatever reason, and that's okay. I do check in with them though, but I honor the space from the standpoint of them wanting to just have a quiet service, and that's okay with me. But our children, once again, like I said, they speak through body language, energy, eye contact. Um, I've been trained to listen with my eyes more than my ears. You know, I told y'all I speak kid, right? I do speak kid. Anywho, the first example I want to share is if a child is nonverbal, I watch body language very, very closely. And it's important that you do so. If they flinch, if their shoulders go up, I know I need to slow down, back off, or just monitor what it is that I'm doing that much more, pay attention that much more. Not that I'm not paying attention, but it piques my interest, so that especially when I'm around the ear, that can be very sensitive. The noise, you know, which is why some of them wear headsets. But nonetheless, you want to pay attention to the body language, especially if they're nonverbal. Another one, using visual aids, hand signs, signals, or gestures, or give chances, choices with pictures when words aren't enough. I used to have these cards. I'm gonna see if they actually have them where you can buy them now. But nonetheless, you want to use visuals for the children as well, if that's something that can help communicate with them. I used to know sign language, but I got in environments where I didn't stay up on it. Hold on, let me show y'all something. Give me a quick second. I still have my book here. I just got a refresh on some stuff, but I took it in when I was in junior college. But nonetheless, when you're not, you know, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. So for me, let me see if this my phone here. Yeah, sure is the bottom of the phone. Hold up, y'all. Let me get this out the way. There we go. I was thinking that I wasn't gonna be able to get on TikTok, and I would have to use my phone to 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 get on. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get this other toy because I don't want to slip and slide on it. Got to use my toes. Hold on. Anywho, yeah. So I still have it, and I go through it periodically. But I do need to pick it up because you do have children that are nonverbal who know sign language very well. You know, like water, a restroom. There are a couple others. But yeah, I need to tighten up on it. Anywho, nonverbal children, watch the body language, use visual aids, simple hand gestures, give choices with pictures when words aren't enough for them, and then listening with more than your ears. I already talked about that. You know, listening with your eyes, not your ears. Even though we have 2 eyes and 2 ears, but nonetheless, listen with your eyes. It's watching how they respond and not just what they say. So for those who can communicate with you, you also want to still be in tune visually by watching their body language, their energy, and eye contact, keeping that eye contact with them. So verbal or nonverbal, every child does communicate, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. So I try to use calm cues with them, visual support, and gentle feedback to keep the experience positive and respectful. That's so important, because keeping it positive and respectful, it keeps them comfortable, and it continues to build that trust with them as well. So the next topic is partnering with parents for smoother service. Parents are your most invaluable assets when it comes down to children in general, but more specifically when you're servicing special needs and autistic children. It's very, very important. And let me check back with the comments and make sure. Wike says, eye contact is key when it comes to communication. It really is. It really is. So thank you for sharing that. Eye contact is very, very important when it comes down to our children. And let me back up. I showed y'all about the sensory box. I am also looking to invest in weighted capes. I'm going to show you an example of the package that I'm looking to get. However, they're on back order, and I've been in communication with the weighted cape guy. So they're supposed to have some in coming up this month. So I will be getting a weighted cape. So let me share my screen with you for that, so I can add it to the stage, so you all can see it. Hold on. Let me make sure that I don't have anything else up there on the stage before remove other media from the stage. I got other media on the stage. Hold on, let me make sure I don't have no media on the stage. All right. Oh, that's the sign for us to join Female Barber Talk there on Sundays. I'm on every Sunday. Let me throw that back up there. So Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay is on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're a barber, someone in the beauty and the barbering industry, and you want to come on, you have something you want to share, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to bring you on. I got some new stuff coming up. We're working on it now. It's going to be the first Sunday of each month. I'm not going to share the name just yet, but we'll have a guest on the first Sundays of the month. We're trying to come up with some things. Anywho, that's going to be coming soon. We'll start next month. So literally next Sunday. So we're working on that. And let's see here. So the weighted cape. This is the weighted cape. And it comes, let me make sure that I got this right. You get it in 1.5 pounds and a 3-pound weight, where you can actually insert it into the cape. But this particular cape that I'm looking to purchase is on back order. So I got to wait till they get them in. And this is what the cape looked like. Y'all can read that, but I just want to share this. And here you can see a little one with the cape on, and it says the weighted cape. They do have them for children and adults. The young man I was communicating with via Instagram and the DM for this particular company said that they'll have some cape, children-like capes with different prints on them coming soon. So y'all know, as I have in the past, I showed y'all, but I'll show them to you. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can see me. Show y'all my kid capes here. But the weighted capes, they will have various patterns with those. But nonetheless, this is the weighted cape. The weight is inserted. There's a zipper on I think it's the underside of it, that you zip the weight in. It's interchangeable, so you can use a lighter weight or a heavy weight. It depends on the child's size as to what um, weight size you want to use on them. And then let's see what else. I'm gonna show it to you. There it is. You can zip it, you can remove it, you can insert a heavier weight, and you can also take it out to clean it. But that is our weighted cape that I will be invested in. In the meantime, let me remove that. In the meantime, y'all know I have a few capes here that I use for the children. You know, keep it kid friendly. Keep it kid friendly. I have a few capes here that I use. Wike says, very nice. Did you design these? No, I didn't. But you know what? I need to look into that because I really would. I have some ideas for that for children. But nonetheless, no, I did not. So those are weighted capes. I'm looking into that. But let's get back to partnering with parents for smoother service. Collaborating with care. No, I don't do drop-offs, especially when it comes to special needs and autistic children. I don't do drop-offs because I rather partner with the parent from that perspective. So I partner with parents. They know their child best. They really do. I oftentimes follow their lead, especially if I haven't serviced the child on a consistent basis. Oftentimes, once I've serviced them, we have our own little language, and the parents just sit there and, you know, allow us to do our thing when I have them in the chair. So from preferred seating to favorite shows, we craft a service together. So y'all know I have the kid iPad. I didn't bring that in this time, but I have the kid iPad. If I do private clients, they get the remote. They got the whole TV to them. It's their world. For me, is their world, but I still get the okay from the parents about things on, you know, what they can watch and can't watch on TV. Normally it's kids Netflix. I have them ask for Disney Plus. I haven't gotten that, but I may, that may be something I invest in and write it off for business because it is for the kids. Anywho, it's a subscription. So I partner with parents. They know what's best. Oftentimes I follow their need. Yeah. So my first example, I always, you know, ask what keeps them calm. Some kids respond to pressure, like I shared with y'all. You know, when I'm going around the ear, drop my marker. Hold on. When I'm going around the ear, or when I'm lining up on the back, since I don't have my cape just yet, this is how I, you know, I usually apply a little bit of pressure around the neck area as I am trimming, outlining them. It's like a soothing sensation. I do talk with them. I communicate, hey, Miss Yah-Tay is getting ready to do X, Y, Z. So they'll know what's going on. They can anticipate what is getting ready to happen. And like I said, when I get around the ears, I always ask, can I borrow the ear to hear? Miss Yah-Tay need to use this ear to hear. Is that okay? And most of the time they say yes, unless they're, you know, running and leaning from me. So the parents are the experts when it comes down to children and what keeps them calm. What helps, you know, what are they like? A lot of those sensory toys, I picked them up based on my experience of working with the children in the school, ratings in terms of what's popular. Yeah, so that's how I kind of picked those out. And I've gone from 3 on up to, you know, teens or whatnot. So here, I'm here to learn with them too. So my next example with that is instead of rushing through a cut, I talked to y'all about sometimes you got to stop. You got to be patient. One of my clients, I say, his mom will say, okay, we take a break, 1 minute. And when we get down to 10 seconds, 30 seconds, she start counting. You got 30 seconds, 10 seconds, you got 10 seconds. And then she start counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. He goes back into the chair. So with parents, I love my parents. I really do partner with my parents because they know the cues, they know the signs, they know what to do to help Miss Yah-Tay out. So that's one thing. And let's see, you won't have too many problems when you have parents involved. That's all I say. If you're a person and I've got time for you, I got you. I got you. Especially when the parents trust me with their children. I'm definitely going to make time or take time, pause, take a break. You know, if they don't want to be in the chair, you need to get on the floor with them, stand up with them, whatever. I do that. And this is where my work with children come into play. So it doesn't matter to me. Whatever it takes to get it done. Now, if I feel like they're overstimulated or they're getting, it's becoming a problem or a challenge for them, then we may discontinue the service and try again some other time. But I do try my best to get the child to a point where the cut looks, it looks decent, you know. So parents also patients with parents. Yeah, we work with parents and partnering with parents. But in this last example, patience tells the child they're not a problem. It really does. It lets them know that I'm working with you. It's okay. Take your time. I got time for you. I got you. And I really do have them. So clipper haircuts, but patient cuts, they go really far. And they help them get through the fear when we're patient with them. And sometimes, with the parents' permission, I put my hand on the clipper and I allow them to, like, they helping me. So like I said, I get the parents' permission first, and then I get them to help me out with me guiding them, to get them involved. So that also kind of distracts them a little bit as well. Some are okay with it, some aren't, you know, in terms of service providers, but I got the upper hand on it, so I'm guiding it. But I use that, especially if they're bigger kids, you know, getting them involved with that process. So that's the secret ingredient in every successful service. I provide the children with unique needs, patience. That's what I can give to them, patience. So the last point of this is some client stories and a few testimonies. The one that I treasure the most, one of my children, I've been cutting them a little over a year, is they only let you cut their hair. I have one, not only am I the only person who cut his hair, I'm the only person that he'll let shampoo his hair. So that's special to me. This a child, well, he's actually a young adult. He's 18, but he only lets me shampoo his hair and cut his hair. So that's special. So that's our connection. I hear that. I don't take any of it for granted because they can go anywhere else and get their haircut or their child's needs, you know, hair care needs service. So I really take pride in having the opportunity to work with my children. I call them my children. My children who are special needs or autistic or have some type of special ability. So that's important to me. Another thing I've shared that I ask parents what keep them calm. I go through that whole ordeal. Um, the stories, that's another thing that I get. So that's important to me. The testimonies, the different stories of them loving their haircuts, taking part in their haircuts. Y'all remember my one client who always say space line. So that's my communication with him. He don't want you to say line up, shape up. It's a space line. So when I say to him, we're at the end, we getting ready to do your space line, he already know we getting to the front. He has to sit still so his space line can be on point. So that's something that I treasure as well as testimonies and successes with my children who have autistic or special needs, things along those lines. So like I say, I don't take it for granted. um, I, I love it. I love it. That's pretty much it, y'all, with this. So from first tears to first high fives, I've been on this journey with some amazing families. Their trust is a testimony in and of itself, and it speaks to my care and patience with their children, and I just ensure that I'm there for them, my eyes, my ears. I'm watching body language. I'm doing everything that I can to ensure that the experience is comfortable. It puts them at ease. It's not traumatic for them. It's it's rewarding, you know. And when they come back, I love it. I absolutely love it. So if you're just tuning in, you have joined podcast episode number 28, and we have talked about crown care for every child, serving special needs and autistic children. WeK says here, do you do education or follow up with the families for aftercare, or how to take care of the hair when they leave? Because I provide them with care or instructions before they leave, I don't necessarily do it for first time clients. Yes. I didn't show y'all, but I have, like, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. I have text, special, like, let me get this phone. I'll show y'all. Hold on. So with my clients, when I reach out to them, I send them stuff like this. It says thank you. I have another one. Hold up. To answer your question, I'm gonna show you the one that I do send out, and it talks about how is your hair doing. So it looks like that, if you can see that. How is your hair doing? And it has a smiley face. Needs help? Okay, good, amazing. So I do communicate with them. I also, for birthdays, I'm going to show y'all this one I sent out for a birthday. This message. Hold on. For birthdays, because one of my clients just had a birthday last weekend, the same day as my niece. But let me share that. Hold on, y'all. I didn't think to pull it up, but here's like the birthday one that I send out. So to answer your question, I do communicate. My clients are constantly being educated when they're sitting in the chair with me. I do follow up with them, the families as well. I do stay in communication with them, not to be overbearing, but I do follow up and stay in communication with them. That's cute and thoughtful. Thank you, thank you. I check in with them. they do the same for me, especially y'all know I lost my dad a few months back. I have clients that check up on me. They still do. To this day, they still do. So I do the same in turn for them because guess what? I'm my only family member here in South Carolina. So they're like my family. So I do check up on them. I do see about them. I text, I call. If I ain't heard from them in a little minute, it's not just about hair. It's about my relationship with them as well. So to answer your question, WK, yes, I do check up on them. So I want to go back to something when I talked about letting the child, I guide them, especially if they're older, with using the clippers. So I may spend some time with going through the clippers, letting them hold them before we get started. Again, that's about patience, letting them hear how it sounds, how it works, and what it's going to feel like, you know, the vibration on their skin. Um, all of that is important. If a child needs a break, I talked about that. If they need a break, hey, we break. We take a break. And it, like I say, is no problem. So just a quick recap on tonight's subject of Crown Care for Every Child service, serving special need and autistic clients, children in general. This was part of the series, Serving the Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care, Braiding with Care, Lock Maintenance with Care, because I do children who have locks as well. Um, the first topic, why pre-visits matter, why pre-visit meetings matter. And they matter because it's like going to pre-K or going to elementary school. You want to get a feel of the space. You want to minimize the anxiety that the child may experience. It offers the meet and greet. They get to see me. They get to hear my voice. They get to see my face. They get to get a feel for the space, you know. And hey, it's like a practice run. The second topic is creating a sensory sensitive grooming environment. We're talking about lights. We're talking about music. We talked about even temperature. It can be too cold for them, you know, but you want to be attentive to that. If you have the ability to make adjustments to the light, too bright of a light can be overstimulating and cause problems. Too much noise can also do the same. I do have headphones. I do have a set of headphones that I use sometimes if the child, you know, desires to have them, or it's something the parents say that can help them. I do have them on board as well. I showed y'all the weighted cake. I'm waiting for it to come in because it's on back order right now. But there are weighted cakes for children and adults that helps with them as well, and makes them feel like they got some has equated it to feeling like somebody is hugging them. It gives them a sense of security, safety, you know. It's like adults with the weighted blanket. Same thing, except for the weight goes up around the chest here and over the shoulders. And with the kids, they have the arms to go through them so that they're able to free their little hands. But nonetheless, nonverbal and visual communication. With that, you want to be mindful of body language, facial expression. If they flinch, for nonverbals, you want to create a some type of communication with them. You know, if you got to use images, use that. Gestures, use that. You might have your own thing. Like I told you, one of my clients, when I say space line, he know we at the end of the cut, and he knows he has to sit still so his space line can be just right. So we also talked about partnering with parents for smoother service. especially for our autistic and special needs children. They know what keeps them calm. They can be very instrumental when it's time to distract them a little bit. They can be of assistance. Sometimes they sit in the chair. Sometimes the children sit on their own, but parents are there. I have one whose parent get involved when it's time to take a break. She counts down for me. You know, we make it happen. So parents are very instrumental when it comes down to partnering with them and servicing my special needs children. Patience, again, tells the child, you're not a problem. I got you. And I do have them. So the last one is client stories and testimonies from parents. Like I said, I've had parents that share with me, he won't let nobody else cut his hair. He won't let nobody else shampoo his hair. When I say, you ready to get your hair cut from Yah-Tay, the expression on their face is it's amazing. That's all I can say. It's amazing. And I am very, very grateful for the parents who entrust me with their children. And I'm also looking at some other things to help me with that. But I'll save that for later and I'll bring that to y'all attention because I'm doing a little research on some stuff and reaching out and getting some information. But before I share that, I'll just let y'all know I'm getting some more information, looking at adding some additional skills to my belt as a Navy vet and certified life coach and certified life purpose and career coach, as well as trained paraprofessionals to work with specifically with my special needs and autistic children. With that being said, as I mentioned earlier, every child deserves to feel safe, seen, and celebrated in the chair. And with the right care, we can make that happen one appointment at a time. All right. Our professional barbers and stylists out there, we can make it happen one appointment at a time. However, we have to be intentional with that. We got to be intentional. We got to be intentional, make the adjustments. We have to be attentive as well with our clients. I'm looking at my notes to ensure that I covered everything because this was a very, very, very important topic to me. Like I said, it's the most important conversation we can have in the grooming industry when it comes down to servicing children with autism and special needs, because it's important that we do so with dignity, patience, and the preparation that they deserve. Yah-Tay says here, you do such a wonderful job. I know these families feel the blessing of having you in their lives. And they share that with me. They do. And they are a blessing to me because they keep me humble. Not that I'm a that type of person, but they remind me of why what I do is meaningful and purposeful. I don't take it lightly. I also see that it's a privilege to have used my years of experience of working with children and now being able to bring that over to the barber and beauty industry. But like I said, every child, and that is my goal, especially when they're in my care receiving services from me, is to feel safe, definitely feel seen, but more importantly, safe. Safety's first, and then celebrate it in the chair. And like I said, with the right care, with the right preparation, with the partnership with the parents, the right environment, and all of those things, we can make it happen. We should make it happen for every appointment that we use. All right. I'm not sure what this live. Oh, it's saying my live will end in a few minutes on uh TikTok. So I will be out of here in a little bit. But remember, every child deserves to feel safe, seen, and celebrated in the chair. And with the right care, right attitude, right preparation, we can make it happen as barbers and stylists, braiders, whatever service you provide children as it relates to the hair industry. We can make it happen one appointment at a time. And that's my goal. So thank you all for listening to this episode. If you've learned something valuable today, please share it. Please share it with someone who may need to hear this. Servicing special needs children takes patience. It takes care. It takes attentiveness to them, looking at the verbal and nonverbal communication, but more importantly, just being patient with them. But like I said, if you found some value in this, please share. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Instagram, please subscribe. YouTube, please subscribe. TikTok, y'all, please subscribe. Hit that follow button, and don't forget to follow up and subscribe to Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. If you know somebody that knows somebody that want to come on, provide them with my information here. Let me put that sign back up. Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay is on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got something that I'm working on. You'll see it next Sunday, because next Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, and we're gonna make this thing work here. For more episodes that blend skill, soul, and service, just follow. And remember, this is part 3 of a 3-part episode. Episode 26 start part 1. Episode 27 is part 2. And this is episode 28. This is part 3 of a 3-part series on, what is that title? Serving the Little Kings and Queens, Cutting with Care. Thank you all for joining. Greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all again next Sunday. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, WeK. Thank you, everybody that tuned in live. If you're catching this on the replay, I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and share this podcast. See you all soon. Enjoy and have a great week ahead. Talk to you soon. Naturals.